They watched your life from a distance and convinced themselves that what you were facing would finally break you. Some expected your faith to disappear. Others expected your purpose to fade into silence. They assumed the pressure was too heavy, the losses too painful, and the opposition too relentless. Yet here you are. You are not standing because life was easy. You are standing because every attack that was meant to destroy you became another testimony that heaven had not abandoned you. A chosen one does not survive by accident. They survive because every battle carries an unseen purpose. If you are still breathing after everything you've endured, then your story is not one of defeat. It is one of divine preservation. Stay with me until the end, because these 9 things reveal why your survival has surprised everyone who underestimated you. Number 1, they never expected you to survive betrayal from those closest to you. The deepest wounds rarely come from strangers. They come from trusted friends, family members, co-workers, mentors, and people you once prayed beside. The betrayal was painful because it came wrapped in familiarity. They smiled in your face while secretly hoping for your downfall. Some spread lies behind your back. Others abandoned you when you needed them most. They assumed that once your heart was broken, your purpose would break with it. But what they failed to understand is that God often uses betrayal as a doorway into destiny. Just as Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers before becoming a ruler in Egypt, your betrayal became preparation rather than destruction. Every person who walked away created room for the right people to enter your life. Instead of becoming bitter, you became wiser. Instead of giving up, you grew stronger. Your enemies expected betrayal to silence your calling, but it only strengthened your dependence on God. Number 2, they never expected you to survive constant spiritual warfare. There were days when it felt like every area of your life was under attack at the same time. Financial struggles appeared unexpectedly, relationships became strained, peace seemed difficult to find, opportunities disappeared without explanation. You questioned why every step forward was followed by another obstacle. Yet the truth is that spiritual resistance often increases as purpose becomes clearer. Darkness recognizes light before the world does. The enemy does not waste energy attacking empty vessels. He targets those carrying influence, wisdom, and destiny. Every battle you survived became evidence that something valuable was worth protecting. While others saw coincidence, heaven saw confirmation. The attacks did not prove God had left you. They proved that your assignment remained active. Number 3, they never expected you to survive seasons of loneliness. Loneliness can become one of life's greatest tests because it forces you to discover who you are without applause or validation. Friends disappeared, invitations stopped coming, conversations became fewer. Sometimes you wondered whether anyone truly understood your journey. Those watching from a distance believed isolation would convince you that you were forgotten. But what they did not see was that your quiet seasons became sacred classrooms. In silence, you heard God's direction more clearly. In solitude, your character was refined. Your confidence stopped depending on human approval and started resting on divine identity. What looked like abandonment to others became preparation in the hands of God. Number 4, they never expected you to survive the storms that nearly broke your faith. There were moments when prayers seemed unanswered. You cried behind closed doors while pretending to be strong in public. You questioned the timing of God, not because you doubted his existence, but because you struggled to understand his silence. Yet even in those difficult moments, you kept praying. Sometimes your prayers were only a few exhausted words, but heaven heard every one of them. Faith is not the absence of questions. Faith is choosing to trust even when answers are delayed. Looking back now, you can see that every delay carried hidden protection. Every unanswered prayer redirected you towards something greater than you could have imagined. Number 5, they never expected you to survive repeated rejection. Doors closed, opportunities vanished, people overlooked your gifts. You watched others receive recognition while your own efforts seemed invisible. Some assumed rejection was proof that you lacked value, but chosen ones eventually discover that rejection is often redirection. God sometimes closes doors because the rooms behind them cannot contain your destiny. Had every opportunity worked out according to your plans, you might have settled for something smaller than your true assignment. Every rejection forced you to keep moving until you reached the place heaven had already prepared for you. What people called failure became divine positioning. Number 6, they never expected you to survive false accusations and misunderstanding. One of the hardest realities of being chosen is realizing that not everyone will understand your heart. People judged your motives without knowing your intentions. They believed rumors before asking questions. Some criticized your growth simply because it reminded them of their own unwillingness to change. False narratives spread faster than truth, but truth always outlives deception. Time became your greatest defender. God did not require you to fight every accusation, because your character spoke louder than every lie. Eventually, those with discernment recognized who you truly were. Your integrity became your strongest testimony. Number 7. They never expected you to survive the weight of disappointment. There were dreams that never happened, relationships that ended unexpectedly, plans that collapsed despite your best efforts. You invested your heart into things that never produced the harvest you expected. For a while, disappointment felt heavier than hope. Yet every disappointment became an invitation to trust God beyond your own understanding. Looking back, many of the things you cried over would have limited the future God had prepared. Sometimes God removes good opportunities because He is making room for greater ones. Your disappointment became divine realignment rather than permanent defeat. Number 8. They never expected you to survive your own past mistakes. Perhaps your greatest battle was not against people but against guilt. You remembered the wrong decisions, missed opportunities, and moments you wished you could erase. The enemy constantly reminded you of who you used to be, hoping you would never embrace who you were becoming. But God's mercy proved stronger than your failures. Your past became part of your testimony rather than your identity. Every lesson you learned through hardship became wisdom you now share with others. Instead of hiding your scars, God transformed them into evidence of His grace. Number 9. They never expected you to survive because they underestimated the God who walks with you. This is the greatest mistake your critics made. They looked only at your human strength. They measured your future using natural circumstances. They forgot that impossible situations become possible when God is involved. Every time they thought your story had reached its end, heaven quietly began writing a new chapter. Every setback became a setup. Every obstacle became an opportunity for God's power to be revealed. They expected statistics to define your future, but divine purpose overruled human expectations. As you reflect on these 9 battles, notice a powerful pattern. None of them disappeared overnight. God did not always remove the storm immediately. Instead, He strengthened you within the storm. That is often how spiritual transformation works. Instead of changing the environment, first, God changes the person walking through it. The very experiences that were supposed to weaken you became the foundation of your resilience. Today, people admire your strength without realizing how many nights you spent praying through tears just to make it to the next morning. There is another reason your survival surprised so many people. They confused your quietness with weakness. They mistook your patience for surrender. They assumed that because you refused to fight every battle publicly, you had accepted defeat. What they could not see was that God was fighting battles behind the scenes. Not every victory is loud. Some victories happen in private prayer, silent obedience, and unseen faithfulness. While others were busy talking about you, heaven was busy preparing you. Never underestimate the power of endurance. Many people begin their journey with excitement, but only a few continue when life becomes difficult. A chosen one is not defined by never facing hardship. A chosen one is defined by refusing to quit despite hardship. Every challenge that tempted you to give up became another opportunity to prove that your foundation rested on something greater than emotions or circumstances. You continued moving forward one faithful step at a time, and that consistency became your greatest strength. Remember that your survival carries responsibility. God did not preserve your life simply so you could celebrate making it through difficult seasons. He preserved you so your testimony could strengthen someone else who is currently walking through their own valley. There are people who need to hear that healing is possible. They need to know that restoration still happens. Your story becomes hope for someone who believes their own battle will never end. Every scar you carry now has the power to become someone else's encouragement. Do not become discouraged if new battles continue to appear. Greater purpose often attracts greater resistance, but every victory from your past reminds you that the same God who sustained you yesterday remains faithful today. If He brought you through betrayal, He can bring you through uncertainty. If He carried you through rejection, He can carry you through delay. His faithfulness has never depended on changing circumstances. It depends on His unchanging character. Your enemies may still watch from a distance, wondering why every attempt to discourage you seems to fail. The answer is simple. You stop depending entirely on your own strength. You learned to trust God when your own understanding reached its limit. That shift changed everything. Human strength eventually runs out, but divine strength is renewed day after day for those who continue seeking Him. Perhaps the greatest miracle is not that you survived difficult circumstances, but that your heart remained open despite them. Many people survive hardship while becoming cold, cynical, and unforgiving. Yet God has been slowly healing your heart so that pain would not become your permanent identity. You continue loving, believing, serving, and hoping because God refused to let bitterness take root where purpose was meant to grow. As you move into the next chapter of your life, remember that your greatest victories may still be ahead of you. Survival was never meant to be your final destination. It was only the beginning. God preserved you because there are lives you have not yet impacted, prayers you have not yet answered through obedience, and blessings you have not yet received. The story is still unfolding, and heaven is not finished writing through your life. So whenever doubt whispers that you will not make it through the next challenge, remember every battle you have already overcome. Remember every prayer God answered, every door He opened, every storm He calmed, and every impossible situation He carried you through. The same God who sustained you then is sustaining you now. You are living proof that what was meant to destroy a chosen one can become the very evidence of God's faithfulness. They never expected you to survive, but by God's grace you proved them wrong, and your greatest testimony is still being written.